Okay, here is the new motor that I got from Amazon at a much better price. I'll include a link in the description, by the way, to all this stuff. This is a Syncron motor, and this looks good. Unfortunately, they don't put the model number on here anymore. I kind of like that. 4 watt, 1.5 RPM. Looks like it's got the correct orientation here. So, yeah. This guy just goes on like this. I will look back at my footage, make sure I got the wires going out the right way, because that is important. Alright, let's get this thing assembled. I decided to bend these up a little bit, and the thing I wanted to show you guys is here's where they're bent at the factory, right here, and so you want to make sure to bend it at the same spot. And because we got a clear housing, we're able to see that we get enough downward pressure on these. Doesn't need to be a ton, it has to be some though. Yeah, this white wire on here was kind of pinched by it on the old one too. I might cut some of this away. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, I notched the piece with the Dremel cutoff wheel, little notch right there, and that is looking a lot better. That wire is no longer pinched, because it was originally. It wasn't cut, but much better, much better. All right, let's put the lock nut on. Okay, we've got everything hooked up here. I've got my hot wire going into the top of the swivel, or slip ring as it's really called. I was calling it swivel earlier. And then the motor is connected to the bottom half of the slip ring, and that should work really good. This is the first test. Let's plug it in and see how it works. Woohoo! Excellent! It's working good. Now remember, it doesn't matter which wire of the motor you connect up to these two wires. Why? Because it's alternating current. I could flip it around and it'd still turn the same direction. Now, Syncron motors in general the actual motor inside here can start turning either direction, but it's got a one-way clutch that locks it, and what happens is the motor starts turning the correct direction. So sometimes when you turn these on, there'll be a pause and then it'll start, and that's normal. But this unit is working perfectly. We've verified that the slip ring is working perfectly because the energy flow is going through the slip ring. I don't hear any bad noises like arcing or flashing or anything. We are ready to continue reassembly. Okay, we're making some good progress. Ready to hook up my cord. We'll just start by putting this in here. The important thing is we need to do what they originally did and install our kind of knot the cord at the end so we have a strain relief so the wires don't come out. Here's sort of how they did it. They kind of wrapped it all around on itself, but probably just put a knot in there maybe. It should work. There we go. That'll prevent the wires from coming out. And I left some extra wire up on top here, so just to make sure I had enough. Time for the first test with the light bulb in it. Let's see how it's going to work. Now the structure of the piece, it's bowed. I don't think there's much I can do about that. It's just from age and weight's been placed upon it. That new ballast is like hardly anything compared to what the old one was. I think that was possibly part of it. But so my bulb really only hooks in on 3 spots, but hopefully that'll be good. Let's plug it in and turn it on and see what happens. Okay, let's try the bottom switch. Hopefully it lights up. Oh, beautiful. It's alive! I'm glad it's working good. As you can see, this one clip is just not in there very well, but that's the well, as far as the light coming on immediately, that's the beauty of the electronic ballast. It's just like, boom. I'm kind of from this era with the lamp starters and stuff, so I kind of appreciate the little flick, flick, flick right on, but this is so much lighter, and it's not going to build up hardly at all any heat, and it's just so much more efficient, so it's the way to go. Motor's nice and quiet. I'm going to leave it hooked on, plugged in for a while, just to make sure it does okay. The slip ring is working real good. Let's get you in closer. Time to reassemble things. Yeah, okay, so it's got to go like this. Since there was a couple of these pieces broken off, I think what I'll do is I'll epoxy them on, even if I can't screw into them though, provide support for this metal piece here that holds the whole assembly up, so hopefully it'll be better. Okay, it is back together, hopefully for the last time. I won't be tearing it apart again, but I did add a weight on here after taking the assembly off and rotating it halfway around. Because the new ballast being lighter certainly upset the balance of it, I feel. And this thing's been taken apart a few times, so there's bound to be a few oddities with it, but I'm just trying to get it back as nice as I can. Got all of the pieces ready to go on, and that's pretty much the next step.